going to be doing my month of May, my May favorites. Hopefully it's going to be a very short video. I'm going to try to go through it as fast as I can. So the very first products that I have are actually some face products, and this one has been in an oldie but a goodie. This is the Neutragena Age Shield Face Sunblock Lotion. It has Helioplex, which is a broad spectrum UVA, UVB, SPF 70 sunblock. I use this every single day that I leave the house. Once there's light out, I put this on my face every single day because I am deathly afraid of those ultraviolet rays. This works wonderfully. It is a little bit on, I don't want to say necessarily very oily because it's a moisturizer, sorry, a sunscreen that's made for the face. It isn't as oily as regular sunscreen, but again, if you have oily skin, I would definitely recommend that maybe you use a mattifying lotion in conjunction with this. I absolutely love it though. It has definitely helped protect me from the sun, I can tell you that, as well as it does not break me out, which is a very big deal for me, and sunscreen. So aside from that, another skincare product that I have been absolutely loving, and you can see that this is literally like almost done. This is the L'Oreal Age Perfect Hydra Nutrition Glow Renewal, and this is literally, it's an oil, it's a facial oil. I remember when I told the girl in Pennywise just last week that I actually use this and I love it. She was like, oh my god, you use this? And I said yes, because I have dry skin, and regardless of what type of skin you have, this can definitely benefit you. I use this mainly at night. Well, I use this morning and night, but for people who have oily skin, I definitely recommend using oils at night. Now, I am a lover of coconut oil and sort of natural type oils for the skin in place of moisturizer. To me, they give you the best bang for your buck in terms of moisturizing, and this just literally has you glowing. Just to name a couple of the ingredients, which it does not have on the label here, but I know there is a good bit of really great oils in here, and they prevent me from breaking out. In fact, I've been using this like underneath my foundation prior to applying it. Because I am dry skin, I can get away with that. This helps to soften up all of the little fine lines that I have underneath here. Once I put that on prior to my foundation, give it time to sort of settle in, it works so beautifully well at sort of decreasing the amount of dryness that I have underneath my eyes, and like the sort of crustiness that I would have around the nose, that dryness from like acne medication and things like that. But I absolutely love the way that my skin looks with this. This is amazing, right? So this one is something that I recently bought, and this is the L'Oreal, I believe it's called the Revitalift Miracle Blur, and all of this basically, it's just a silicone based primer like a Smashbox, and all of those big fancy named sort of clear silicone based primers. This is what it looks like, and it is quite a costly product, I think, for a drugstore brand. It is, I think I paid about $147 for this. However, it does work really well. I would say even a little bit better than the one that I have from Sephora, and I would say it's probably just a hair shy of my Smashbox primer, and those are like really great. I prefer this to the NYX Photo Finish Primer, and honestly a little bit really does go a long way. I have very open pores right around here, and I've never been someone who really cares for a primer under foundation because I have dry skin. I don't really have issues with my foundation moving around as much, but I do have open pores and a lot of little fine lines because of the dry skin that I have. They tend to be a little bit more pronounced, so I find that by using this, I've seen a big difference in the way that it looks, in the way that my skin photographs. It just looks literally miracly blurred, and I would definitely recommend this to anyone who has like any little discrepancies on the skin, especially if you have very large pores and you don't want to use a whole lot of foundation to sort of cover and keep on to try and cover that up. This goes a little bit, goes a long way. You can even use it by itself, just to sort of give you a nice, even looking, smooth looking appearance. So the next skin product that I have, and this is actually a foundation. It's very rare when I feature a foundation because I don't really like trying a lot of foundations. I find that I end up just wasting my money a lot. Now one of my holy grail foundations is actually my Clinique Even Better Dark Spot Corrector foundation, because again I have oily skin. It is super hydrating. It's not oily, doesn't make me oily, but it's really hydrating and light, yet you get that sort of a medium to buildable coverage. Now I picked this up on a whim. I was actually going to purchase, I believe it's the Magic Nude, which is this sort of powdered liquid to powder in bottle that they had. That's L'Oreal, and they didn't have my shade, so I ended up getting the Lumi, the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous Makeup. Now it does have an SPF of 20, and I absolutely love. I think this is a dupe for my Clinique foundation in terms of not necessarily ingredients, because the Clinique does have extra stuff in there that helps to fight like little age spots and discoloration. However, this for everyday, that Clinique one that cost me like $450 to purchase, so I do like to keep that for, you know, very special occasions, when I absolutely need to look like 100% full glam. However, I am looking for something that's more affordable, and I believe that in texture, this foundation has nailed that texture off the bat. It is a gorgeous finish. It is very luminizing on the skin. Now it does not contain any shimmer whatsoever, because a lot of luminous foundations, I find that they contain little particles of shimmer, and because I have open pores and fine lines, that tends to sort of exaggerate those or draw more attention than necessary to them. However, this just gives you that sort of a very luminous, glowy type finish, without being too oily or greasy on the skin. If you are a dewy skin person, I definitely recommend you trying this out. It is gorgeous. I do set this with a powder, otherwise it has a tendency to never really quite set on the face. So just a little bit of a light. I actually use my banana powder, my Ben Nye banana powder over it, but I suppose any powder that you have can definitely do the trick. But I absolutely love the way that this feels. It doesn't settle into fine lines. It has the skin very moist and not sort of cakey and dry looking. I absolutely love this. I've been reaching for this more so than any other foundation this month, and that's why it made my favorites video. My very last skin product is actually more of a high-end one. This is the Josie Maran Argan Illuminizer, and this is a little tiny trial bottle. Now again, because I have sensitive dry skin, I was kind of skeptical to order this product because it does contain, I think it's argan oil in here, because Josie Maran is known for her argan products, argan oil rather. And I really wanted to try it, and I did get a little sample size, and I bought this. Where did I buy this? I believe I bought this off Amazon. I will, if I can find the link to this product, I'll put it down below. And I am glad that I did not get the full size. Let me tell you that right off the bat, because this is a tiny little bottle, but I'll be honest with you, this is probably going to last me forever. It is so pigmented and so strong that you can't, I don't pump like this. What I actually do in order to use this, I actually just open this up inside of here and just take a little bit with my finger, like literally that much is more than enough to highlight like my face and my cheeks. I use this in two ways. This I actually use if I'm looking for a little bit of a subtle glow. I will apply it to my cheekbones the way that you normally would do, like the way that you normally would do a regular highlight. I would put this right after applying my foundation. See it? It's absolutely gorgeous. I would put something, I would put a powdered highlight over this to sort of kick up the luminosity. Or the other way that I use this is if I want like very dewy, glowy overall makeup, I use this, a little bit of this, like one drop of this into my Lumi foundation, and it just gives you the most gorgeous all over dewy glowy finish. However, I would be a little bit cautious about doing that all over glow if you are an oily person, because you can tend to look like a little bit of a grease ball if you overdo it, especially if you're using a foundation like the Lumi, which is very glowy to begin with. But definitely I absolutely love this stuff. It has not broken me out, and it has the most gorgeous beautiful lit from within type of glow. It's absolutely amazing. The color, however, I was a little bit taken aback by this because I did think that it would be a little bit more golden. However, it does have a little bit of gold in it. For those of you who know MAC's what is it called, Whisper of Guilt highlight, where it's a little bit gold but then there's a little touch of champagne in there as well too. That is, I think, the description of this. It's sort of a gold but a little bit of champagne in there too. So if you are a darker complexion than I am, it's probably something that I would not recommend for you. If you are still looking for this type of a product, however, I would definitely tell you to check out Benefit Sunbeam. If you are darker than maybe, let's say, a caramel NC45, you can check Sunbeam by Benefit Cosmetics. They have the same sort of technology, glowy liquid Illuminizer, but it's a little bit more of a golden sort of tan illuminator that works for darker skin beautifully. Right, so this is that. Now the other products that I have here are a lot of cheap products. This one is actually a blush, and this is from Milani, and it's a baked blush. And this is what it looks like, and this is called Lumioso, right? And this is what the packaging looks like. You can get these at Wonderful World. My sister did bring this for me, but I have seen them in Wonderful World. I can't tell you the cost, however. This blush is absolutely stunning. There's little veins of sort of golden shimmery highlight in there. Now it looks very, very shimmery in the actual pan. When you pan, especially when you look at it in store, you would think that it's going to make you look extremely like glittery and glowy, but this actually has more of a glow or a sheen on the skin. I'm actually wearing it today. I do have a highlighter over it, so it's probably picking up a little bit more luminous on camera, but I'm actually wearing this blush, and I love this blush. This actually, I think, is a very good dupe for NARS Orgasm. Now it's not along the same, I wouldn't say it's exactly the same, but if you're looking for a good, affordable, same type, around the same type of color scheme, this blush is absolutely fantastic for that. I love this. I love putting this on the apples of my cheeks. I do have the NARS Orgasm. Again, I tend to reserve that for very special occasions, or things where I have to be high glam. Obviously, I always look for products that are a little bit more affordable than high-end products. So this, I have found that I've actually been reaching for this more so than the NARS Orgasm, and I absolutely love this color. This is in Lumioso. The other product that I have here is yet another cheap product. This is the Wet n Wild Fergie collection, and this is their center stage, and it says it's to reflect shimmer palette, but it's basically a bronzer, and it is sort of a golden, I don't know if you can see that there, it is sort of a golden with veining of like bronze and sort of a little bit of a peach running through it. This is absolutely stunning. I am also wearing this on my cheek, more to the back here, and I have been loving this because we have summer coming up so soon and the weather is a little bit more hot and it's a little bit more bright. I am loving really glowy sort of golden type skin, and this has been definitely helping me to get that on point. I got, this is the Rose Golden Goddess. I believe there is a darker shade. I do not have it, however. I will put the link to all of the products that I'm speaking about in the bottom bar below. If I did purchase it here, you will definitely see a link to where I purchased these products in the bottom bar below. And this has been just absolutely gorgeous, and it's really reasonable for the amount of product that you have in here compared to the price. I would probably not run out of this anytime soon, and I love the bronzy glow that it gives you. It's just gorgeous. And this is another Wet n Wild product, yet again a cheap product, and this is called the, what is this, the Color Icon Bronzer. This is what it looks like, and this is in, what is this, Princess. Now this is the shade here. It's sort of like a reddish terracotta-ish type shade. This, you already paid $15 for this at Makeup Haven. I'll put the link below. Hopefully she still has, and I believe that there is a darker shade to this. Now I love this. Again, I have Laguna by NARS, and I think that this makes a really good dupe of Laguna by NARS. If you are a little bit darker than me, however, I would definitely suggest getting the other one tiered, which is a slightly darker shade. And for $15, I mean, you really cannot go wrong. I'm actually wearing this today again as a little bit of a contour shade, like along my jawline and along my my cheekbones there. And this is fantastic. There is not a lot of shimmer in this product. I would say it's more of like, not even a satin, it's a matte with very, very micro fine little particles of glow in there. But it does not show glowy on the skin whatsoever. So if you're looking for a nice contour color and you are maybe like a caramel shade or a little bit lighter, this is definitely going to work for you. And this again is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Princess. My last cheek product for today is the Mary. Now this is a product that everybody's been raving about. This is called the Mary Luminizer by the Balm, and I know that 3/4 of you out there would already know about it. If you don't, you need to get on board the bandwagon. Now I did purchase this from Helena Ristique. It's not really available here. If it is, I have never seen it. Now this is a champagne gold type highlighter. It is extremely intense, extremely, not necessarily shimmery. There's absolutely no glitter in here whatsoever. It just gives you a really powerful glow, like a beautiful sheen. It is on the champagne side more so than it is gold, which is my big disappointment with this product. I would love to have seen this more of a yellowish type of gold, but unfortunately it is a Caucasian marketed product, so you find that those things are not very rare, not very often. However, I do love it. I do have this on today as well too, and that is what's giving me that fantastic glow on my cheeks. I absolutely love it. The only thing with this is it's very, very, very soft. So I would be very, very careful if you do purchase this, because one drop and that's the end of this product. But other than that, I got this from, I believe it's Helena Ristique. I will put the link down below in the description box as to how you can purchase this. My last few products that I have, a little random stuffs. This is the Pinkees 1220 lashes. You get these in Wonderful Will, and I believe it's not Wonderful Will, Pennywise, and they're $14.95 each. Now there's not any in here because I do have them on my eyes. Absolutely, hands down, my favorite eyelashes ever in all of eyelash history. Of all the lashes that I've ever used, these are hands down my favorite. They are dramatic, they are wispy, they are natural looking, they're not too long, not too short, and they work really well with my natural lashes. I have a lot of lashes, and because of that, a lot of the different styles do not work well with my eyelashes, because my eyelashes are actually longer than some of the styles that I've come across, or some of them have just been plain out way too dramatic and too dragged for me. This, however, gives me just enough drama. It's very natural looking because they're very fine and wispy, and at the same time they're very wearable. Like I can throw this on with an everyday neutral look and it actually looks quite gorgeous and adds just enough glam to be just enough and not overdoing it. I can even wear these during the day. And these are the Pinkees 1220. They are my absolute favorite eyelashes, so I would definitely suggest at $15 for a pair, pick up a pack the next time you're at Pennywise. So this product is quite a quirky one, and I purchased, I went to Christine, who is a person who sells makeup as well too, and I went to purchase a couple products from her, and when I did, she actually gave me this to try. Now we've been calling this our Chinese lady. I don't mean that to be racist in any way, but it's a little Japanese type lip balm, and it's like a lipstick. Now mine's is kind of dilapidated because it sort of melted on me and I've been using it so much that it's almost finished, and I still really love my my Carmex and my EOS, but this, I am telling you that this is the most luxurious lip balm that I've ever put on in my entire life. It's not sticky, it's not greasy, it's not shiny. I don't know how it does it, and I have no idea what's in here because it's in Chinese or some foreign language, but let me tell you something, this thing is fan-freaking-tastic, and I definitely recommend picking up one of these. You will not regret it. This, what I want to speak about, is also something that I purchased from Christine, and this is a Wet n Wild product as well, and it's called the Wet n Wild Color Icon Eyeshadow Collection, and this is in a glass, drinking a glass of shine. I did use this in a couple tutorials, I think recently, but this is absolutely a gorgeous palette. If you don't have any makeup whatsoever and you want to try makeup out for the first time, I definitely recommend getting this palette. This is gorgeous. You see these neutrals here, they are stunning, absolutely stunning. I would compare them to the quality of like matte eyeshadows. They are gorgeous. And then we have some color over on this side here, which is fantastic. The quality of these eyeshadows is buttery, creamy, very soft. They're very easy to blend, and for the money that you're spending for these are easily as good of a quality as any of the high-end eyeshadows. In fact, I prefer these more so than my Urban Decay. The mattes that come in this thing are sucky. These are so much cheaper, and it's fantastic quality. They blend so beautifully. I don't have any issues whatsoever. It's not chalky, they're super pigmented. You definitely, and for the price of these, I would definitely suggest this. You get the best of both worlds. Now they're all matte shadows, which is kind of confusing because the name of the palette is Drinking a Glass of Shine, and there's absolutely no shine in here whatsoever. But I'm happy because I'm a matte eyeshadow person. You get the best of both worlds in this, where you have some neutrals here and you have some colored shadows here, and you get a black and a white. And for me, this is a very good basic palette to begin with if you've never had makeup before. So the last two products that I want to talk about are two brushes that I purchased. One is from Makeup Haven, and then one is also from Christine. Christine, I went to pick this up and I saw this, and I absolutely love, like, just a side note, I love Jaclyn Hill. She is like, I'm like obsessed with her videos, with her, with the way that she looks, her setup, everything. I'm absolutely obsessed with her. I think she's a genius. Now I do see that she has been using like this, I believe it's a Sigma flat top kabuki, and I've been kind of looking around for that, but again, it's a $200 brush. So when I went to Christine, she usually has like a couple brushes, and I saw this and I'm like, it looks kind of dense, it's nice and flat, maybe I can just try it, because I don't know if I would like the whole, you know, flat top kabuki bandwagon for foundation application. So I picked it up, and it was quite inexpensive actually, a little tiny brush, and I used it to apply my foundation. In fact, today I did use it to apply my foundation. And let me tell you something, this is, I would think, an excellent dupe for that Sigma brush. It is nice and dense, and it is a synthetic material, which I think is better for application. As opposed to like a natural hair bristle, this picks up much less product, and you waste less foundation with this brush. And I find that when I use it, it's just really airbrush. The foundation sort of melts into the skin and doesn't like sit on the skin. It doesn't settle as much, and you get such flawless even coverage. Usually I go in by stippling, and then I sort of buff it in, and it works wonderfully for applying liquids. And I even use this to apply powder as well too, like to set larger areas with powder. I use the exact same brush for the same thing. I have no idea what this brush is called though, but it's a very short sort of flat top kabuki, I suppose, and it's a synthetic brush. And the last brush is also a synthetic brush. Now excuse it, because I've been using this thing till that do us part. I absolutely freaking love this brush. Now I do have, I think I spoke to you guys, I think in my last favorites video, I did talk about like the Real Technique setting brush, which I loved for like setting my concealer underneath the eyes. However, I didn't really have a brush that I really loved for my under eye concealer. Generally, I would just use like a beauty blender and sort of blend that out. But I went to Makeup Haven and I picked this brush up, and it's sort of a synthetic tapered, I would believe, a foundation brush, but this thing is absolutely fantastic for your concealer. Again, I did see other YouTube gurus, other beauty gurus using, I think it was the Sigma, the tapered synthetic brush as well too, to kind of clean up their concealer. Because this is synthetic, what it does is it literally just picks up, like I would apply my concealer using my fingers, just kind of dab it on where I need it to be, And then after that, what I do is I go in with this brush, just tapping like this, and it just blends out that concealer so fantastic and so airbrushed. And whatever excess there is, this just does such a wonderful job of just picking up the excess concealer without removing the coverage that you need. Like I've used other brushes before, and what they do is that when you dab it on, they sort of shear out your concealer. I don't know how this does that, but it just goes in there and it picks up the extra product, while at the same time it blends the product into the under eye area without shearing it out. So you don't lose coverage, you get rid of the excess concealer that's underneath the eyes, and it just makes it look so airbrushed. And since I've been using this, my concealer has not really been creasing up underneath the eyes as much. I find that it looks just more airbrushed and more flawless and professionally finished, and I would definitely recommend getting this brush. Now I have no idea what this brush is called again, but again, I did get it at Makeup Haven, and I'm going to put the link down below. Hopefully they still have these brushes. And I believe the very last thing that I have to talk about is this is the Real Techniques blending sponge. Now mine is a little bit dirty because obviously I've been using it, and this is sort of like a beauty blender on steroids. Now if I am to be very honest with you, I do prefer the texture of my beauty blender, because I find that this is still a little bit too, how can I put it, it's not quite soft, it's still a little bit too porous for me, let's put it like that. But honestly, you see this, there is a flat edge on this thing that is amazing for getting in here and for blending things around the corners like the nose and the mouth. There's a nice little edge here that when you need to get like around the corners of the lip or sort of edge things out, this works so well for that. And this is like a gazillion times cheaper than a beauty blender. So if you are somebody who wants to try a beauty blender, or maybe you can't afford one, this does the exact same thing. It has a nice little tapered edge here, which obviously you can get in there, blend out your concealer, blend out your foundations, add your powders. But you see this little flat thing here? If only for that little bit of a flat part right there, this is why I recommend this, and this is why I'm loving this, because you see here, it just really sets everything in place. I love using this with powder to go underneath here and to sort of set underneath the eyes. I also use it to sort of blend foundation out over large areas. The flat side really does a great job of blending out your foundation, and then obviously the pointy side, it gets right into the nose and into the tight corners and around the hairline and wherever you need precision. So it's one of those sponges that I think literally has gotten it right. It has a little bit of everything and the best of all the sponge world, I suppose. And I would definitely recommend this. And for the price, you cannot beat this. If you're somebody who's never tried the beauty blender before and you've been thinking about getting into like a makeup sponge, I definitely recommend trying these first, and I can guarantee you that you will absolutely love them. There's no real difference between this or the beauty blender. They both do the exact same thing. The only difference is really just a slight difference in texture, and if you've never used a beauty blender, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because this is much better than those little white triangular ones that you get at the store. It's absolutely 100% better than that, and you cannot go wrong with the price of these. So again, I'll put the links to everything. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my favorites video this month. Hopefully it wasn't too long, and if it is, I really apologize. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see if I can do another one next month, hopefully. Thank you so much for watching.